Are you constantly feeling drained? Do your workouts feel like an absolute mission? This might just be the simple change you need. I was so over feeling sluggish and like I could never drink enough water, so I did something a little drastic. For 14 days, I swapped every single one of my drinks, my precious morning coffee, the odd soda, all of it for pure, unsweetened coconut water. I figured I'd get a nice little health boost, maybe more energy, better hydration. But what it actually did for my body, and especially for my skin and workout recovery, genuinely shocked me. The results were not what I expected at all, and I'm going to walk you through exactly what happened. So let's set the scene. Before this little experiment, my days pretty much ran on caffeine. A coffee first thing in the morning, and then another around 3 p.m. to drag myself out of that afternoon slump. I thought I was drinking enough water, but my energy was all over the map, and I always had this nagging, low-level thirst. My workouts? A total grind. I'd be sore for days, and honestly, the thought of going back to the gym felt more like a chore than a choice. My skin wasn't awful, but it was definitely lackluster. It didn't have that plump, hydrated look, and I had these annoying dry patches around my nose and chin. I just felt a bit blah. So why coconut water? Well, I kept hearing about it everywhere. It's often marketed as nature's sports drink, and you see athletes and celebrities sipping on it for that glow. I did a little digging, and it is packed with electrolytes like potassium and magnesium, which are super important for hydration and how your muscles work. Plus, it's naturally low in calories and sugar compared to most juices and sports drinks, which was a big win for me. I also saw articles pointing to its potential skin-clearing properties because it contains things like antioxidants and cytokinins, though a lot of the proof for that comes from lab or animal studies. It really felt like it could be the perfect fix for all my issues. The low energy, the slow workout recovery, and my dull skin. But a quick and important disclaimer, I am not a doctor or a dietitian. This is purely my personal experience. If you have any health conditions, especially kidney problems or blood pressure issues, you should definitely talk to a doctor before chugging a ton of coconut water because it is very high in potassium. Okay, day 1 was a real shock to the system. I woke up and stumbled towards my coffee maker before I remembered. Coconut water only. The taste was fine. It's kind of sweet, a little nutty and refreshing, but it was no match for the rich kick of coffee I was dreaming of. By mid-morning, the caffeine withdrawal headache set in, a dull throb right behind my eyes. I felt foggy, grumpy, you name it. I kept drinking more coconut water, hoping the extra hydration might help. It did a bit, but that brain fog was no joke. The biggest hurdle of those first few days was the monotony. I missed my warm mug of tea at night. I missed the simple pleasure of a fizzy water with lunch. I was drinking what felt like oceans of coconut water, and one unexpected side effect was that I was in the bathroom asterisk all the time. This makes sense. While it isn't technically a diuretic, drinking a lot of fluid that's also high in potassium can certainly make you need to go more often. On the bright side, that nagging feeling of thirst I always had was completely gone. I felt totally full of water, which was a weird but kind of nice sensation. By the end of day 3, the headache was finally gone. I was starting to feel like my body was hitting a reset button. It was a struggle, but I felt clean. Day 7. This was it, the turning point. I woke up before my alarm, feeling genuinely refreshed. That groggy feeling that usually followed me around for the first hour of the day was just gone. And then the real kicker, the 3 p.m. slump, never came. You know that moment when your brain just turns to static and you read desperate for sugar or caffeine? It just didn't happen. My energy wasn't buzzy or frantic like it is with coffee. It was just calm, steady, and there all day. This must have been those electrolytes working their magic, helping my body regulate fluids and function better, and then I looked in the mirror. My skin was different. Not in a crazy, overnight way, but the dullness was definitely fading. My complexion looked more even, and my skin literally felt bouncier. It had a glow. This was probably due to the serious hydration boost from the inside out, which can help skin look plumper. While some research suggests coconut water's antioxidants might offer benefits, there's not a lot of direct proof from major skin transformations in humans. But I can tell you, it felt like my skin was finally getting the moisture it needed, and it was showing. It wasn't all perfect though. Let's just say my digestion felt a bit different. For some people, a large amount of coconut water can have a mild laxative effect. It wasn't anything terrible, but it was just another reminder that even healthy, natural things can have surprising effects when you introduce them this intensely. By the second week, this was just my life now. A tall glass of cold coconut water first thing, a bottle stashed in my bag wherever I went. And the strangest part? My cravings for coffee and soda were gone. I just didn't need them. It felt like my body had found a new, cleaner fuel source. This is when I really noticed the difference in my fitness. On day 11, I did one of those leg days that would normally have me walking like a cowboy for 2 days straight. I had a big glass of coconut water right after, and the next morning, I was barely sore. I felt recovered, not wiped out. While it's not a magic bullet, replenishing electrolytes like potassium and magnesium that you lose in sweat can help reduce muscle cramps and speed up recovery. For my routine, it felt way better than the super sugary sports drinks I used to have. My skin just kept getting better. The dry patches vanished, and my face looked plump and hydrated from morning till night. The anti-inflammatory properties I'd read about seemed to be at play, too, because some of the redness I usually have around my nose had calmed down a lot. It turns out, hydrating from the inside out isn't just a marketing line, it's a real thing. So after 2 full weeks, it was time for the final verdict. I took a good look in the mirror and compared it to how I felt at the start. The changes weren't just in my head, they were visible. First, energy. The difference was night and day. I went from relying on caffeine to having stable, consistent energy all day long. I felt focused, clear-headed, and like my body was running on premium fuel. The afternoon slump was officially a thing of the past. Second, my workouts. This was probably the biggest game changer for me. My post-workout soreness was way down. My endurance felt better, and I could bounce back for my next gym session so much faster. It's worth noting that for intense athletes who lose a lot of sodium through sweat, traditional sports drinks might be a better choice for recovery. But for me, getting that potassium boost made all the difference. And finally, my skin. I'm not exaggerating when I say my skin has never looked better. It had that dewy, just had a facial look, but it lasted. It was plump, glowing, and radiant in a way no makeup could ever replicate. All that deep hydration had even made the fine lines on my forehead less noticeable. So, was it worth it? 1000% yes. Pushing through those first few tough days was completely worth it for the results. This 2-week challenge did more for my energy, fitness, and skin than almost any other single thing I've ever tried. Will I keep drinking only coconut water? Definitely not. It's a little extreme, and I won't lie, I miss my morning coffee. But I'm absolutely making coconut water a regular part of my life. It's now my go-to for after a workout, and if I need an afternoon pick-me-up, I'll grab it instead of a second coffee. My biggest takeaway from all of this is realizing just how dehydrated I was without even knowing it. My body was screaming for better hydration and more electrolytes, and the sluggishness and dull skin were the results. This experiment showed me what it feels like to be truly, deeply hydrated. If you're thinking about trying it, just make sure you get high-quality, unsweetened coconut water to skip the added sugar. You probably don't need to go as all or nothing as I did, but even just swapping a soda or a sugary drink for coconut water could make a huge difference. Now I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever tried a health challenge like this? Do you use coconut water in your routine? Drop your experiences in the comments below. And if you liked this video and want to see more experiments, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what I try next.